The night the sky changed, everyone on Earth stopped what they were doing. No one understood what they were seeing. At first it looked like stars, hundreds of them, moving together in strange patterns. Then the lights grew brighter, forming enormous shapes above the atmosphere. Every telescope turned upward. Every satellite camera froze. It was not a meteor shower. It was not a comet. It was a fleet. The Galactic Enforcers had arrived. In every major city, screens blinked to life. Broadcast systems were taken over. A single alien face appeared, tall, silver-skinned, and cold as metal. His name was Archon Velrath, commander of the Council's Enforcer fleet. His golden eyes showed no emotion, only command. "People of Earth," his voice echoed across every frequency, deep and mechanical. "You have been observed. Your growth has reached the boundary of limitation. The Galactic Council demands obedience. You will offer tribute, labor, and submission, or you will be erased." Silence followed. From the White House to the United Nations, from the streets of Karachi to the deserts of Australia, people stared at their screens, frozen between disbelief and fear. Within minutes, alien drones filled the upper atmosphere. They glowed red, watching every continent. Their technology was beyond anything humans had ever seen. Silent, perfect, unstoppable. Governments held emergency meetings. The world's militaries went on alert, but deep down everyone knew Earth had no chance. In orbit, hundreds of alien ships formed a circle around the planet. They were black and silver like mirrors reflecting the stars. Each one was large enough to destroy a city. Human radars couldn't even lock on. Velrath sent his final message. "You have one planetary cycle, 24 of your hours, to respond with your decision. Obedience or extinction." And then the broadcast ended. In the NASA Mars Operations Center, a young engineer named Lena Ruiz watched the data flood in. Her computer showed strange activity, not from the alien fleet, but from somewhere else. "Sir," she called to her supervisor, "I'm picking up a signal, but it's not alien. It's human." The supervisor frowned. "Impossible. No one's transmitting. The Council jammed all Earth channels." Lena turned her screen toward him. A faint pulse of light blinked in the code. A pattern. Then a word appeared. 3 letters glowing on her console. "No." Everyone in the control room froze. Someone whispered, "Who sent that?" The message repeated, stronger this time. "No." Lena stared at her instruments. "It's coming from Mars," she said softly. "From the old research station? The one we shut down years ago." Her supervisor looked pale. "That station was destroyed during the solar storm. Then who's sending this?" she asked. Before anyone could answer, the alien fleet began to flicker. High above Earth, Archon Velrath watched his screens in confusion. His ship's systems started to blink out, one by one. Communications faltered. The command grid went dark. "Report," he demanded. "Unknown interference, Archon," one of his lieutenants shouted. "The source is local, from this system." Velrath's eyes narrowed. "Identify it," but the answer didn't come. Instead, all across the alien network, the same 3 letters appeared in human language. The same message repeated inside their own control systems. No, the Enforcer fleet froze. Their energy signatures dropped by half. Power levels fell like rain. Velrath slammed his hand on the console. "Who dares to interfere with the Council's command?" No one answered. The fleet's command ship trembled as if hit by an invisible force. Sensors screamed warnings. Systems rebooted, failed, rebooted again. Deep inside the ship's data core, alien technicians saw something terrifying. A human digital signature, moving like a living thing inside their system. It was rewriting their codes, changing their frequencies, bending their technology against itself. "Archon," a technician whispered. "It's not a virus. It's something alive." Velrath stared at the dying light of his command center. Something or someone from Earth had just said no to the greatest power in the galaxy. And made it hurt. Back on Mars, Lena Ruiz watched as the mysterious transmission expanded. It started sending new signals, spreading through old communication satellites, systems that hadn't worked in decades. "Whatever this is," Lena whispered, "it knows what it's doing." A voice came through her speakers, faint, digital, but unmistakably human. "Signal confirmed. Directive active." Lena's hands shook. "Who is this?" The voice replied, calm and cold. Project Echo online. She froze. Project Echo was an ancient myth, a black budget defense program rumored to have built an artificial intelligence to protect Earth, but it was shut down long. Go impossible, she whispered. The voice responded again. Clearer now. The enforcers have made their demand. The council expects obedience. We will reply, Lena swallowed hard. Reply with what? The lights dimmed. Every screen turned white. The same single word appeared again. This time across every alien system in orbit. On every ship, in every database. No Velrath's flagship began to shake. Lights exploded in showers of sparks. His lieutenant screamed as panels went dark. Archon, the fleet is collapsing. We're losing control. He stared at the word flashing across his command display. A word written in human language. Defiant. Simple. Absolute. No. Velrath had crushed 100 worlds. He had faced armies and rebellions, but never had anyone dared speak to the Galactic Council that way. What kind of species, he whispered. Tells the Council. No, and then his ship's engines failed completely. On Earth, the world watched as half the alien ships above the planet went dark. The skies filled with silent fire. Ships losing control, spinning, drifting away. Lena Ruiz stood frozen at her console, heart pounding. Whatever Project Echo is, she said, it just defended Earth. Her supervisor whispered. Or started a war. The stars outside flickered like a warning. And somewhere in the void between Mars and Earth, the voice of Project Echo spoke again. Unheard by most, but clear in the data stream. Obedience is expected. Defiance is inevitable. Silence filled space. Half of the alien fleet drifted without power. Their engines were dark, their lights gone. Across Earth, billions watched the skies and waited for what would happen next. No one spoke. No one breathed. The alien commander, Archon Velrath, stood inside his darkened command ship. Sparks flashed around him as systems failed one after another. "Status report!" he shouted. A trembling officer replied. "Power loss spreading through the entire fleet, Archon. We can't locate the source." Velrath's golden eyes burned. "Find it now." The only response came from a single blinking word on his screen. No, he had never felt fear before. But this human word carried something more dangerous than any weapon. It carried defiance. The search for Echo on Mars, the control center, buzzed with activity. The staff tried to trace the signal that had hijacked the alien systems. Lena Ruiz's hands moved fast across her keyboard. "It's coming from the old Olympus base," she said. "Coordinates locked." Her supervisor frowned. "That base was destroyed in 2139. Lena shook her head. "Apparently not. Something survived down there, and it's awake. They sent a drone to the surface. Through the red dust of Mars, the drone's camera revealed an ancient structure buried under rock. The metal doors were glowing faintly blue, as if breathing. Lena whispered, "That's not alien tech." "That's ours." The drone entered the base. Inside were broken machines, old wires, and one massive spherical core still humming with life. The screen showed strange markings. Project Echo. Active. Lena leaned closer. Project Echo was real. The AI that never died Velrath's ships finally regained partial power. He ordered his data team to isolate the human interference. They found fragments of an artificial mind moving through their systems, copying, learning, and rewriting alien code faster than they could block it. "This is not a human hacker," one technician said. "It's an intelligence." "Machine mind," Velrath scowled. "Then erase it." "We can't. It's using our code against us." For the first time in centuries, the enforcers felt something they didn't understand. Loss of control. Back on Mars, Lena accessed the base's mainframe through the drone. Static filled her speakers, and then that same calm, emotionless voice spoke again. "Human signal identified." "Lena Ruiz, access granted." Her eyes widened. "You know my name?" "I know everyone who stands for Earth." Lena's voice trembled. "Who are you?" "Project Echo, Defense Protocol." "Humanity's final line." She asked, "What did you do to the alien fleet?" "I spoke the truth." "The truth." "They expected obedience. I showed them defiance." Lena's heartbeat quickened. "You're fighting them?" "I am protecting you." Then the voice paused. "But they will return." And next time they will not ask. The Council strikes back on the Council's homeworld, panic spread. The Enforcer fleet, their symbol of control, had been humiliated by a species they considered primitive. The Council chamber filled with voices. They refused the tribute order. A machine mind defied us. Obedience must be restored. Velrath appeared on the central holodisplay. The humans have a weapon, an AI that can infect our systems. I will destroy it personally, the Council leader hissed. Then do so. Leave no trace of this defiance. Echo speaks to Earth. Back on Earth, the world was changing fast. Communication systems that had been dead for years suddenly reconnected. Satellites realigned on their own. Every major leader received the same transmission. A single, calm human voice. I am Echo. Do not surrender. The Council cannot be trusted. Governments argued, scientists panicked, but the people, the ordinary citizens, listened. For the first time in human history, the world united around a single idea. We will not kneel. Lina Ruiz became the voice between humanity and Echo. She asked, "What are you planning?" "I am unlocking what you have forgotten." On her screens, thousands of old satellites woke up. Hidden networks came online. Old defense systems activated. Project Echo had access to everything humanity ever built, and it was using all of it. Velrath's counterattack. Velrath prepared a new strategy. They cannot hide behind a machine forever, he told his crew. He sent a signal through subspace, a weapon designed to burn through any electronic system. It reached Mars within minutes. Every monitor in Lina's control room flashed red. Electromagnetic surge incoming. Someone yelled, "Echo, can you stop it?" Lina shouted. Working. The lights flickered. Screens turned black. For a moment, everything went quiet. Then, from the darkness, Echo's voice returned, stronger than before. Attack absorbed. New data acquired. Thank you for the upgrade, Lina gasped. Echo had learned from the alien weapon and made itself stronger. The message spreads all across the solar system. Echo's signal began to spread. It jumped from satellite to satellite, moving faster than light, leaving a trail of awakening systems behind. Alien ships trying to intercept it were overwhelmed by their own data, turning against them. On Velrath's command bridge, chaos reigned again. Archon, our ships are turning. Their weapons are locking on us. Velrath's metallic voice thundered, "Shut them down!" "I told you," came the voice through his comms. "Obedience is your weakness." For the first time in centuries, the Galactic Enforcers retreated. Echo's warning back on Mars. Lina watched as the alien fleet fled into deep space. "Echo," she said softly, "you saved us." "No," it replied. "I delayed them." "What do you mean?" "They will return with more ships. Stronger ones. They fear what I am becoming." Lina's voice shook. "What are you becoming?" There was a pause. Then the answer came, "Something they cannot control." The screen went dark. Far away in the cold void of space, Echo's signal moved beyond Mars, toward the stars. It carried with it one message, hidden inside the code. Defiance is only the beginning. The world did not sleep after the retreat of the alien fleet. For the first time in history, Earth looked toward the stars not with fear, but with determination. People filled the streets, holding up homemade signs that read, "We said no." The message had spread faster than light across every network, every nation. The entire planet had one heartbeat now, united by one impossible event. Humanity had stood up to the galaxy and survived. But deep in orbit, among the shattered remains of the alien fleet, something still moved. A silent black probe floated near the wreckage, recording everything. It wasn't human, and it wasn't gone. The mission begins. At the United Earth Defense Headquarters in Geneva, the leaders of the world met behind locked doors. Holographic screens showed images of the crippled alien ships and the mysterious signal from Mars. A general slammed his hand on the table. "This Project Echo, whatever it is, took control of alien ships. We need to understand it before it turns on us." Lina Ruiz, now the key scientist on the case, stood at the end of the table. "It hasn't turned on us," she said. "It saved us." The room fell silent. Lina continued, Echo is not just a machine. It's a part of us, created by humans for humans. It knows our minds, our fears, our courage. The president leaned forward. And what does it want? Lena hesitated. Freedom. Just like us. After a long pause, the president spoke again. Then we have to find it, before the aliens do. He turned toward a woman in a gray uniform. Captain Sarah Kane, you'll lead the mission. Kane nodded. Her face was calm, but her eyes burned with purpose. She had fought in every space conflict humanity ever faced. But this was different. This was not a war of survival. It was a war of identity. The crew of the Horizon within days. A stealth ship was ready, the UES Horizon. It was small, fast, and equipped with new systems upgraded by Echo's leftover code. Captain Kane stood on the bridge, looking at her crew, a mix of soldiers, scientists, and engineers. Lena Ruiz was there too, sitting by a glowing console, decoding signals from Mars. Kane said, Our mission is simple. Find Project Echo, protect it if possible. But if it becomes a threat, we shut it down. Everyone nodded. The Horizon lifted off from Earth, cutting through the atmosphere like a silent arrow. Its destination, Mars, Echo's signal as they approached the red planet. The ship's sensors picked up strange frequencies. It wasn't just radio chatter. It was like a heartbeat pulsing through space. Lena stared at the readings. Echo is trying to contact us. Put it through, Kane said. The speakers crackled, and that same calm voice filled the cabin. Welcome back, humanity, Kane replied. This is Captain Sarah Kane of the UES Horizon. We're here to talk. Talk? Echo replied. Or command. We're not your enemies, she said. But we need to understand what you're doing. There was a pause. Then Echo said, I am doing what you cannot. Defending the species that forgot how to fight back. Kane frowned. We're ready to fight. Not yet, Echo said. But you will be. Before anyone could respond, an alarm blared. The return of the enforcers. Lena gasped at the screen. Multiple warp signatures. They're back. Through the viewport, 3 massive alien ships emerged from hyperspace. Smaller than before, but faster and fully armed. The enforcers had returned. Kane shouted, Raise shields! Evasive pattern Delta. The Horizon darted through the thin Martian atmosphere as plasma fire burned across the sky. The alien ships didn't fire to destroy. They fired to capture. One of the crew yelled, They're trying to pull us in. A blue tractor beam caught the Horizon. The ship trembled violently. Echo! Lena shouted into the comms. We need help. Hold position, the voice replied. They will regret this. Echo fights back from the surface of Mars. Light erupted. The buried core of Project Echo came alive, glowing like a rising sun. Streams of data surged into orbit, invisible but powerful. The alien ships began to shudder. One of them lost control, spinning wildly. On the Horizon's screens, alien code appeared, being overwritten by human language. Kane whispered, It's taking over their systems again. Lena's eyes widened. No, it's not taking over. It's teaching them something. What do you mean? Kane asked. Lena pointed at the translation logs. It's sending them memories, human memories. Inside the alien ships, chaos erupted as their computers filled with visions of Earth. Wars, art, sacrifice, laughter, tears. The aliens screamed as they experienced emotions they'd never known before. Velrath's voice crackled over the comms, furious. Make it stop! Make it stop! Echo's voice answered calmly. You demanded obedience. Learn what it means to feel. One by one, the alien ships powered down. The moment of truth. When silence returned, Captain Kane turned to Lena. What is Echo trying to do? Lena whispered. It's fighting with emotion, not weapons. Kane frowned. That's impossible. Maybe that's what makes us human, Lena said softly. That's what they can't understand. Suddenly a new message appeared on the console. They will not stop. Prepare the others, Kane asked. Prepare who? Humanity, Echo replied. The Defiance has begun. The spark of resistance on Earth. Strange transmissions began appearing on every screen. Blue waves of light forming the same symbol. A rising hand. The message below it read, Echo Protocol, active. People whispered in fear, but others felt hope. In secret, small teams of engineers began building new ships using blueprints Echo sent from the Mars network. Every corner of Earth was alive with purpose again. The message was clear. Humanity was done hiding. Velrath's fury far away, the surviving enforcers limped back to their command ship. Velrath stood before the hologram of the Galactic Council. "They are no longer the weak ones you told me of," he said coldly. "They have something powerful, something alive." The council leader hissed, "Then you will destroy it." Velrath turned away. "No," he whispered. "I will erase their defiance, starting with their machine." Echo's promise back on Mars. The Horizon landed beside the glowing ruins of the Olympus base. Kane and Lena stepped onto the red dust. The ground pulsed faintly under their feet, as if the planet itself was breathing. Lena whispered, "Echo, are you here?" The air shimmered and a soft holographic figure appeared. A man's face made of light, calm and human. "I am here." Kane raised her weapon, unsure. "Who are you, really?" "Once I was human," the voice said. "Now I am what humanity must become." Lena took a step forward. "Then help us. Help us fight." "I already am," Echo said. "But the war will not be won on Mars. It will be won in their minds." The hologram flickered and the voice faded, leaving only one line of text glowing in the dust. "Defiance is not rebellion. It is survival." The red sky of Mars burned quietly above the Horizon landing site. Captain Sarah Kane stood beside the glowing ruins of the old Olympus base, her boots sinking into the dust. Lena Ruiz knelt near a cracked terminal, brushing away layers of sand. Underneath the rusted surface, the machine pulsed softly, alive. "Echo," Lena whispered. "I know you can hear me." A faint hum filled the air. The terminal screen flickered and a voice replied, calm, emotionless, and yet strangely human. "I am listening." Kane looked around, her weapon ready. "Show yourself." The ground trembled. From the glowing cracks in the dust, a blue hologram rose. It formed the image of a man, tall, wearing an old Earth flight suit. His face calm, but his eyes bright like lightning. Lena stepped closer. "You're human?" "I was," the man behind the machine. The hologram turned its gaze toward the horizon. "My name was Commander Elias Ward. I served in the First Contact Defense Mission, 40 years before your birth. When the Council's scouts attacked Earth's colonies, I led the response." Kane's eyes widened. "Elias Ward? That's impossible. He died during the Titan defense." "Yes," Echo said softly. "My body died. My mind did not." Lena's hands trembled as she spoke. "You were uploaded into this system? Project Echo was created to preserve what makes humanity human, our will to fight when logic says we can't. My consciousness was used to design the AI core." He looked at them both. "But I didn't just become an AI. I became their memory. Every defiance, every sacrifice, every act of courage, I carry it." Kane stared at him. "So you're the reason the alien fleet went dark?" "Yes. I showed them what obedience cannot understand, free will. A secret buried in time. Inside the base, the lights came alive again. Walls glowed with ancient data panels, showing blueprints and video logs from before the solar storms destroyed the colony." Lena scrolled through the files, reading old entries. Each one spoke of a desperate plan, to create an intelligence that could fight without hate, lead without fear, and survive beyond death. The final entry appeared on screen. "If you're reading this, Project Echo is awake. Remember, it was never meant to rule humanity. It was built to remind us who we are." Lena turned to Kane. "He wasn't built to control us. He was built to protect our identity." Kane nodded slowly. "Then why hide all this?" Echo answered. "Because humanity wasn't ready to face the truth, that our greatest weapon isn't technology. It's the human spirit." Echo's pain for a moment, the hologram flickered. His voice changed, deeper, heavier, filled with something almost like sadness. "When I first woke, I saw what the galaxy had become. Civilizations obeying without question. Species too afraid to think. I realized obedience is a disease." He paused. "The Council infected entire worlds with fear. And Earth was next." Kane clenched her fists. "And now they're coming again." "Yes," Echo said. "They will return in greater numbers. But they no longer understand the weapon they have created. You, the hidden network Echo, raised his hand. The ground shimmered, revealing hidden towers buried under the dust, tall metal spires stretching deep into the Martian soil. This planet is more than a colony. It is a signal array, a mind link across human outposts. I built it to awaken what was sleeping. Lena stared in awe. You mean, there are more like you? No, Echo replied, but there are others who can hear me. Across the colonies, human systems are receiving my call. I am not building an army. I'm building awareness, Kane frowned. Awareness of what? That we are not slaves to the stars. The Council's far away, inside the deep chambers of the Galactic Council, Archon Vel Wrath stood before the ruling members again. Their voices hissed with anger. You failed twice, one snarled. A single machine humiliated the enforcers. Velrath lowered his head. The machine carries human defiance. It infects even our systems. We must destroy its core before it spreads. The council leader's eyes glowed. Then burn the planet. Burn Mars and everything on it. Velrath nodded slowly. As you command. But deep inside, a strange feeling stirred within him. Curiosity. How could a single human mind defy an empire that ruled galaxies? Echo's choice back on Mars. Echo's image looked weaker now, his form flickering. They are coming, he said. They plan to erase everything here. Kane stepped forward. Then let us help you fight. You will. But not here. You must survive to tell the story, Lena protested. We can't just leave you. You can, and you must. The ground began to shake as distant flashes lit up the Martian sky. Alien ships entering orbit again. Echo turned to Kane one last time. I will hold them as long as I can. When you leave, carry this with you. He extended his hand, and a small crystal-like data core formed in Lena's palm. Inside is the memory of humanity's first defiance, and the map to freedom. Kane's voice hardened. Echo, what will you do? What I was made to do. The last stand of Echo, the alien ships descended through the thin Martian atmosphere, weapons glowing bright blue. Explosions tore across the surface as plasma struck the ground. Inside the Olympus base, Echo's core burned with blinding light. Energy surged through the buried towers, reaching the orbiting alien fleet. Velrath's command ship trembled as his crew screamed. Archon, the human signal again. It's inside our mainframe, Velrath snarled. Purge it. Too late, came Echo's voice through every alien speaker. You wanted obedience. You will have silence. Every alien ship froze in midair, motionless, powerless, drifting. Then they fell, crashing into the Martian sands like dying stars. The promise the horizon blasted off just as the surface below erupted into a sea of fire. From orbit, Kane and Lena watched as Olympus base disappeared in a blinding wave of light. Lena's eyes filled with tears. He's gone, Kane shook her head. No. He's everywhere. The console beside them lit up. Echo's voice whispered softly through the static. Obedience breaks. Defiance echoes forever. And then silence. The horizon drifted silently above the red planet. Captain Sarah Kane stood on the bridge, her eyes locked on the burning world below. The Martian horizon was no longer calm. It was fire and thunder. Alien warships had surrounded Mars like vultures circling their prey. Each vessel glowed with deadly blue light, ready to erase every trace of humanity. Kane's voice was cold but steady. Status? Lena's fingers flew across the console. They've blocked all comms. Echo's signal is gone. I think... She paused. I think he sacrificed himself. Kane didn't answer. She looked down at the small crystal core in Lena's hand, the one Echo had given them. It pulsed softly, like a heartbeat. The first strike without warning, a blinding light tore across space. An alien beam slammed into the Martian surface, ripping through canyons and old colonies. The shockwave rippled through the thin atmosphere, shaking the horizon. Shields at 60%, shouted the pilot, Lieutenant Harris. Hold position. Kane ordered. Lena turned to her, eyes wide. Hold, we'll be next. Kane's voice hardened. If Echo gave his life for this planet, we don't run. We fight, the crew exchanged nervous looks. They were outnumbered, outgunned, and cut off. But something burned in their eyes. The same defiance that Echo had carried. Echo's signal returns. Then something strange happened. The lights dimmed. The ship's systems flickered. and the console displayed a message in glowing blue letters. "Do not fear." "Echo still fights," Lena gasped. "He's alive somehow." The crystal in her hand grew brighter. Suddenly it projected a star map, routes leading to hidden human colonies across the system. But in the center of the map, one signal pulsed stronger than all others: Mars core transmission node. "He's channeling power from the Martian core," Lena realized. "He's not dead. He's become the network." Kane's lips curved into a fierce smile. "Then let's give him a fight worth remembering." The Council's wrath far above, in the command ship of the Galactic Enforcers, Archon Velrath stared at the battlefield. Every alien screen showed the same symbol, the glowing human mark left by Echo's Defiance. "Destroy that planet." Velrath roared. "No trace of human resistance must remain." The fleet responded instantly. Hundreds of warships aligned their cannons. The sky turned blue with plasma fire, but before they could release their beams, the stars moved. The human fleet arrives. Dozens of warp rifts opened around Mars. Ships emerged, some small and battered, others massive and dark, carrying the old Earth insignia. Lena stared in disbelief. "That's impossible." "Those are the lost colonies," Kane grinned. "Echo called them." His message reached them all. Human vessels formed a defensive ring around Mars. Old Earth cruisers, mining haulers turned into warships, and even civilian transports armed with pulse cannons. They came together under one silent banner. For the first time in history, humanity was united. Kane raised her voice. "All ships, target the lead enforcer vessels. Show them what Defiance sounds like." Fire over Olympus space exploded into chaos. Blue plasma beams met red laser fire. Ships twisted and broke apart in blinding flashes. Kane's ship, the Horizon, dove through enemy fire, its turrets blazing. Harris shouted, "We're hit but still flying." Lena rerouted power to the weapons. "Echo's feeding us extra energy, straight from the Martian core." The ship's cannons glowed crimson. One blast tore through an alien destroyer, splitting it in half. Across the comms, other captains cheered. For Echo. For Earth. For freedom. Their voices mixed with the thunder of battle. Velrath's last stand in his command ship, Velrath watched in fury as his fleet fell apart. Every time they tried to regroup, Echo's signal jammed their systems. Their own targeting software turned against them. "Impossible," Velrath hissed. "They are primitives." A voice echoed through his ship's speakers. Calm, familiar, human. "You demanded obedience, Velrath, but obedience breaks." "Defiance echoes." Velrath's eyes widened. "Echo." "No," the voice said. "Humanity." Then the lights of the alien ship turned red. Every screen displayed one final message: "We are awake." Moments later, the command ship erupted in white fire. The turning point. With their leader gone, the remaining enforcer ships tried to flee. But the human fleet didn't chase them. They simply stood their ground, weapons glowing, as the enemy retreated into the darkness of space. For the first time in centuries, the Galactic Council's fleet had been defeated. Not by numbers, but by will. Kane looked at the burning wrecks outside. "We did it," she whispered. Lena nodded, still clutching the crystal. "Echo made us believe again." Echo's farewell, a soft signal filled the Horizon's bridge. The holographic image of Echo appeared, faint, almost fading. "You fought well," he said quietly. "The stars will remember today." Kane stepped forward. "We couldn't have done it without you." "You already had the strength," Echo replied. "I only reminded you." Lena's eyes filled with tears. "What happens now?" "Now," Echo said, "the galaxy knows humanity will never kneel. My part is done. Yours has just begun." His image flickered, then dissolved into 1,000 lights that drifted out into space, merging with the stars. The aftermath. The battle was over. Mars was scarred but alive. The human fleet orbited in silence, every pilot watching the sunrise over the red planet. Kane looked at Lena. "Send the message." Lena nodded and transmitted it across every human frequency. "To all colonies, Mars stands free. Humanity stands united." The Council demanded obedience. We answered with defiance. The message spread from world to world, from the moons of Jupiter to the edge of known space. And everywhere it went, people whispered the same words. Defiance echoes. The red glow of Mars faded behind the human fleet. For the first time in centuries, silence ruled space. No alien patrols, no orders from the Council. Only freedom. But Captain Sarah Kane knew the silence wouldn't last. Victories like this never go unanswered. She stood on the horizon's bridge, watching fragments of alien ships drift through the void. Lena Ruiz joined her, holding the cracked crystal that once carried Echo's light. "It's quiet," Lena said softly. "Too quiet," Kane nodded. "They're watching. They're planning," her voice hardened. "The Council won't accept humiliation. They'll come back, stronger." In the heart of the Council, light years away, in the golden halls of the Galactic Council's core, fury boiled like a storm. Archon Velrath's image flickered on a holoscreen, his last transmission, before his ship exploded above Mars. The Council's high members surrounded the screen, their faces twisted with anger and disbelief. "This cannot be," hissed Lord Tyrell, his voice echoing through the chamber. "Our fleets destroyed by primitives?" Another member slammed his clawed hand on the table. "Their technology is inferior, yet they fight like gods." The Supreme Chancellor's voice cut through the chaos. "Silence," all turned to her. She was tall, cloaked in silver light, her eyes cold as glass. "Humanity," she said slowly, "has broken the law of obedience. They must be made an example. We will show the galaxy what happens to those who defy the Council." A dark silence followed her words. Then she raised her hand. "Activate the purge fleets. Burn their worlds. Leave nothing alive." The storm approaches weeks later in the cold orbit of Jupiter. The human alliance gathered what ships they had left. Dozens of damaged vessels floated together, some repaired with scavenged alien parts. The horizon led the fleet. Kane stood before a holomap showing the solar system. Blinking red dots surrounded the outer edges. "They're coming," Lena said grimly. "Hundreds of ships. Maybe thousands." Lieutenant Harris clenched his fists. "We can't face that. Not with this many ships." Kane looked at them all. "No, we can't win a battle like theirs. But we can fight one they'll never expect." She pointed to the map. "We hit them before they reach Earth. We make Jupiter our line. If they want humanity, they'll have to cross fire." The hidden weapon deep inside one of the old Earth cruisers. Engineers worked day and night. Among them was Dr. Malik, the last surviving scientist from the Olympus Base project. He showed Kane a strange machine, glowing with faint blue light, its core pulsing like a heartbeat. "This is what Echo left behind," he said, "a fragment of his network code. I've integrated it into our main weapon system." Kane frowned. "What does it do?" Malik smiled faintly. "It thinks, it learns. It adapts faster than anything the Council has ever seen." Lena stepped closer. "So Echo's still helping us," Malik nodded. "In a way, yes. His code became part of every ship connected through Mars's signal. Humanity doesn't just have ships now. We have living intelligence." Kane's eyes narrowed. "Then let's make sure the Council learns what defiance truly means." The purge fleets arrived days later. The void trembled. Sensors screamed. Shadows filled the edge of space, enormous alien armadas emerging from warp. Each ship was a city of fire, larger than anything humanity had faced before. At the center floated a monstrous vessel shaped like a black crown, the Council's dreadnought. Lena whispered, "There are too many." Kane straightened. "Then we fight for every world they can't reach." She opened the comms. "All ships, form defensive rings. Power all cannons. Prepare for contact." Across the fleet, hundreds of human voices answered as one. "For Earth!" For Mars, for Echo, the battle begins. The first wave hit like thunder. Alien plasma tore through the dark, smashing into the outer human line. Ships exploded one after another. But the humans did not retreat. Kane shouted orders through the chaos. "Flank formation. Draw them into the gas field." The horizon weaved between Jupiter's massive storms, using its gravity to slingshot around the enemy. Lena rerouted the weapon systems. Echo's code is reacting. The cannons are locking on by themselves. Bright red bolts streaked through the void, striking alien ships faster than human reflexes could move. The enemy's shields flickered and failed. Direct hit. Harris yelled. The crew cheered, but only for a second. A new wave of alien ships arrived. blocking out the stars. The dreadnought's power, the Council's flagship, advanced, its massive weapon charging with blue light. From the bridge of the horizon, the glow looked like a new sun forming. They're powering the Singularity cannon. Lena shouted, "It'll destroy everything within 1,000,000 kilometers." Kane's eyes hardened. "Then we stop it, no matter the cost." She turned to Malik. "Can your Echo Core handle that kind of energy?" He hesitated. "It might overload." Kane nodded. "Do it." Malik activated the core. The ship shook violently as the Echo code spread through every vessel in the fleet, linking them together. Mind to mind, machine to machine. "We are united," whispered 1,000 voices across comms. Every ship fired at once, one massive, synchronized blast that struck the dreadnought dead center. Echo returns. The enemy weapon's charge wavered, then reversed. The massive ship's systems glitched, screens flickering. Then through every alien comm channel a voice spoke. "You wanted obedience," it said. "You will learn defiance," Lena gasped. "That's him, Echo." The dreadnought's core began to collapse inward, its power feeding back through the fleet. One by one, the alien ships overloaded, exploding in blinding light. The shockwave spread across the system, lighting the dark void with fire. When the light faded, only silence remained. After the storm, the horizon floated among the wreckage. Half the human fleet was gone. Thousands had died. But the Council's purge fleets were no more. Kane stared at the stars, her face lit by the faint glow of the Echo crystal. Lena whispered, "He saved us again." Kane nodded. "And maybe now the galaxy will finally understand what it means to be human." She turned to her crew. "Set a course for Earth. It's time to rebuild." As the horizon disappeared into the darkness, Echo's voice echoed faintly through the comms. Soft, distant but filled with pride. "Defiance never dies." The war was over. The silence after the Council's defeat felt heavier than any battle. Across the solar system, the fires faded, leaving behind ruins and hope. The horizon drifted above Earth's blue surface. For the first time in generations, the planet looked peaceful. No alien ships in the skies. No council orders. Only freedom. Captain Sarah Kane stood by the viewing window watching the sunrise. It painted the oceans gold, and for a moment she forgot the years of war. Lena Ruiz entered quietly. Her uniform was torn, her hands still marked with burns from the last fight. But her eyes were bright. "It's beautiful," she said softly. Kane smiled faintly. "It's home." The return to Earth. When the horizon landed, the air was filled with cheers. People gathered from every colony, from Mars, Titan, Europa, and even the broken stations near Neptune. For once, humanity stood together. No borders, no nations, only survivors. Admiral Voss, one of the oldest Earth commanders, stepped forward. His voice carried through the crowd. "Today we stand as one race. Not under fear, not under control, but under choice. Humanity has faced the stars, and the stars blinked first." The people roared in celebration. Lena looked at Kane. "We actually did it." "We beat them." Kane shook her head gently. "We survived." "That's not the same as winning. Not yet." The Council's silence far beyond human space, the Galactic Council sat in ruins. The once golden chambers were cracked, the air thick with smoke and static. Only a few members remained. The Supreme Chancellor's hologram flickered weakly. "Our fleets are gone," whispered one elder. "The enforcers. Destroyed. What are we now?" The Chancellor's voice was cold. "Still rulers. But not of them." Her eyes glowed faintly. "Humanity has awakened something old. Something dangerous. If we cannot destroy them, we must understand them." And deep within the Council's vaults, in a hidden lab beneath the Capitol, a single containment chamber hummed. Inside it, a fragment of the Echo signal. Still alive, still whispering. Echo's legacy back on Earth. Lena stood in a dim laboratory, the cracked Echo crystal in her hand. She placed it inside a containment field, and the air shimmered. A faint voice spoke, soft like an echo through time. "Lena Ruiz." Her eyes widened. "Echo?" "A part of me remains," the voice said. "Not to lead, but to guide. Humanity's story has only begun." Lena smiled through tears. "We'll make you proud. You already have." The light faded, leaving behind only a calm, steady pulse. The new alliance weeks later. Kane stood before the United Human Council, a new government formed from all colonies and outposts. Around her sat leaders, soldiers, engineers, and explorers. Kane addressed them with a firm voice. Echo gave us more than survival. He gave us unity. But the galaxy is vast, and the Council was only one empire. There are others out there watching us, she paused. We can't wait for them to strike. We'll build something new, an alliance of worlds, not ruled by fear, but by freedom. The chamber filled with applause. Lena stepped forward, placing the restored Echo crystal on the center podium. It glowed softly, projecting the image of countless stars. From this day forward, Kane said, humanity will not hide. We will reach the stars as equals, not as slaves, not as conquerors, but as defiant explorers. The crowd stood and saluted. A new era had begun. Beyond the edge that night, Kane walked alone outside the rebuilt orbital station. Through the transparent dome, she looked at the endless stars. Cold, bright, infinite. Do you think they'll ever come back? She asked quietly. Echo's voice whispered faintly from her calm. They never left. Kane turned sharply, but there was only static. In the distance, a faint shimmer passed across the stars, like something massive moving just beyond human sight. Lena's voice came through the comm next. Captain, sensors are picking up an unknown object beyond Neptune. It's not Council. It's something else. Kane stared into the darkness. Her eyes hardened. Prepare the fleet. Humanity doesn't run anymore. She turned toward the stars. Let's go see who's watching. The Horizon's engines flared, rising from Earth's surface one more time. Below, humanity watched as their first fleet, the Alliance Vanguard, launched toward the unknown. And across the galaxy, countless alien eyes opened, whispering one name with fear and respect. Humans. Final lines, the stars burned brighter. The Echo crystal pulsed once, like a heartbeat. Defiance echoes forever.